What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Tottenham 3, AZ Alkmaar 1. Tottenham are through to the quarter-finals of the Europa League. Face up a tie with Eintracht Frankfurt, who absolutely obliterated Ajax in the last 16. It will be a very tough game, and we'll get into that in a minute. But today is a day that belongs to Tottenham, because I thought for the first hour, particularly, Spurs were brilliant today. Didn't give AZ Alkmaar really a chance. Mickey van der Ven and Cuti Romero controlling things from the base. Lucas Bergvall controlling things in the middle, and Sonny and Odobert out on the wings, causing all sorts of problems. I thought, you saw the lineup today, didn't you? And we both said this is probably our strongest 11.
Definitely.
And they played like it.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. I think that's the strongest 11 that we've got right now. And they played with what we wanted for at least an hour, which was the intensity, the drive. There was still moments, but as an overall, for that at least 60, 65 minutes, they played pretty well. And I think it just started to fall apart a little bit when Van der Ven came off, and it was quite evident to see when the other players came on. We looked a bit more nervous, making more mistakes, and we did make a mistake, unfortunately. And I think that one with what's his name, Bergvall, making that pass. I think
Odobert, yeah.
If that was Van der Ven in the phase before that, where Archie Gray was there, I think he would have got that ball because of his pace and how he is. But look, let's not take away from what we got today, which was a lot more of an enjoyable performance, I think. I mean, when was the last time we sat here and actually enjoyed moments of the game with Spurs?
Yeah, and it was a game, I mean, it was the first game I've actually enjoyed watching, probably since that Liverpool game.
Yeah.
When we beat them at home in the first leg in the semi-final. And is it a surprise that, you get your starting centre-backs back and, players are back and you actually start enjoying the game again? So, look, I think it would have been embarrassing if we were to go out today, no doubt about it. But I was happy with the way, because the intensity was right from the very beginning, which we can't say a lot about previous games.
No.
The aggression was right, the intensity was right. We would bang up for it from minute one today. And it took a while for us to get into our rhythm of actually creating chances.
Yeah, it did.
But some of the goals that we scored today, I mean, that third goal that we scored, the way that Maddison just kind of let the ball glide past him, and he drove into the centre of the park, got it out wide to Sonny, got it into the to Odobert, then to Sonny, then get it into Solanke, and with a little black pick into Odobert, and he put it in the back of the net.
It was a great team goal. It's just the one, I think that, it was a really good team goal. And I think again, even Maddison's goal as well was a great goal. That was a great team goal. There was from a press again, and I think that was more what we want to see more of that kind of. And I think both of them were on the counter as well, to be honest. So this is why, I mean, it's quite funny that the goals that we score seem to be when we are countering, which is like when we seem to play our best football. And it's like everything just kind of flows together. But yeah, I can't complain with it. I think it's definitely the best performance we've seen in a while. And look, it's just, I'm glad we got the win. They needed it. And for me, it was the senior players that stepped up tonight. That was the biggest thing, which is what we were saying before the game.
100%.
We needed like the Maddisons, the Sons, and these type of players to step up. But it was nice to see Odobert step up as well. First start on the right wing. I think he's got a really good mention for today as well, because I think what I saw with Odobert is that there's a lot of moments where he's quite lively. He drives. There's that one moment where he went past like 3 players through the middle. And he came up with the goals today as well. And goal on his left foot, goal on his right foot, and well taken. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on the right wing as well.
That first goal that he scored was
a really good goal.
Brilliant finish as well.
Really good finish.
All comes from Son Heung-min with his pressing out on that left-hand side. He plays it into Solanke. Solanke getting himself 2 assists today, and a brilliant weight of pass into Odobert. And I thought Odobert was really dangerous out on that right-hand side.
I liked him
a lot. There was one
moment
in the middle of the park where he just burst through, getting 2 or 3 men. And it's like, when you compare him to someone like Brennan Johnson, right? I think Odobert showed more when he was on the pitch today in terms of general threat from open play than pretty much Brennan Johnson has all season.
100%. Brennan Johnson, for me, he's one of these players that in a moment he can produce something, but usually it's not anything like amazing or anything out of the blue. It's like tap-ins or things like this, and then the rest of the game he's just coasting. It's like you don't even notice he's playing. Like literally, you don't. Even when he came on the pitch, it kind of felt like he wasn't really doing much. It was like, again, it kind of felt like you're playing with one man less on your team, and it's frustrating to watch. It really is frustrating. And I've always said this from the day one, that he hasn't got a football brain. He really doesn't. Apart from the fact that he can get into the right positions, but I kind of think that that's just because of the style of the system, and that kind of maybe the way Ange wants him to play is kind of like that. But I think he just you look at him, and when he puts a cross into the box, it's like he's playing FIFA or something in his head, and it's like low cross all the time, low pass, like, you know, that XXX or whatever it is, or that triple pass thing, and it's like low along the floor, and it never gets anywhere, and it's like 1 in 10 it gets somewhere, and it's frustrating. But yeah,
I do think that's a little unfair on Brennan, to be honest. I do think you need a pretty good football IQ to get in those positions consistently as he does. So I think you've got to be fair to Brennan in terms of the amount of times he gets into those areas. But Odobert, just from an open play, just from hurting the opposition consistently, I just think he's far better for the system in terms of his one-on-one dribbling. He can actually take on a man.
He's definitely, that's what I like as well, that he can take on a man, and that's a key for any player you want to see at Tottenham. You want to see players that take on their man and are not scared to do it. Brennan Johnson doesn't do it. And just to go on that point, what you said about his intelligence, the reason I say that is because I don't think that's in the intelligence. I think that's something he's been coached into, about getting into the right positions. I don't think that's football intelligence. Football intelligence is what I see Bergvall. He's got football intelligence. You just watch him play. Look at his technique. Look at him always scanning around him all the time. Yeah. We saw it again on the weekend, right? He's constantly scanning. He's constantly driving. He knows what he's got good technique. And you see, for a kid that young, he's only going to get better as long as he stays like injury clear. But with Johnson, I just see someone who's just been trained to do that. I don't see, he might be good at doing that, but I don't see he's got football intelligence. It's a big difference for me. And that's what I see with him. He just doesn't have that intelligence. Again, in the last game we saw him, there was one moment where he was through on the right wing, and he's like, and he turns back, he didn't know what to do with the ball. And it's like, come on, man, you're a footballer. The goal's in front of you, not behind you. So it's kind of like how I feel with him, but yeah.
Regardless, I mean, look, today's not about Brennan Johnson. Today's about getting into the quarterfinals and Odobert having a brilliant display, scoring 2 goals. So you've got to give him a lot of credit, Odobert. You know, he's been out for so long, and to come back pretty much, and to come back to put in a performance like that in such a pivotal game, got to give him so much respect for the quality that he has shown. And you got to say now, with that performance, he's got to have that right wing down on lock, because I think he's the perfect Ange winger in terms of one-on-one dribbling, in terms of being able to beat your man, but also getting into those areas that Brennan gets in to score. The goals that he scored today were like that.
I think he would be like Brennan Johnson, but a lot what we want Brennan Johnson to be, basically. That's what I think. That's why I think Odobert would be on the right wing, because he's actually not scared. He's really quick feet. He's quick. He doesn't stop. He gets you off your feet a little bit in moments in the game. He's not the finished product, not at all, by any shot of. But yeah, I like what I see with him so far, and he's still quite raw still, but he's got ability, this kid, and. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone better to play on the right wing right now. I think he is the perfect Ange player. Like, he is what Ange wanted from Johnson, I think. And I think you give him that run in that place, I think you'll be surprised to see what he could actually do from the right wing.
Yeah, and from one kid to another, and Lucas Bergvall. I mean, what a mature display today.
Yeah, he was.
From Lucas Bergvall in the 6. I mean, the amount of time he was sitting here and saying, he's getting in front of his midfielder every time, with every kind of 50-50, every kind of loose ball. He was winning everything and gobbling up everything in the middle of the park. I mean, Lucas Bergvall put in one of the best displays in the middle of the park today that I think he's put in a Spurs shirt. I really believe that. I think today, because I look at Bergvall pretty much every week, and he blows me away every week. And I think this display was one of the best of the lot.
It was a very good display, bar the mistake. The mistake, because it was
just unfortunate.
It was
both of them having such great games.
It was, and he's not. I think they were saying he's 19, so he must have turned 19 not long ago then, or recently. But for someone that young to put in the performances he's been like integral for our team. And he is integral for our team. The way we want to play, I think he's exactly what Ange wants from a player. And if he keeps progressing the way he is, he's only going to get better. And I'm excited to see what he could be like in the next year or two, or even 3 years, as long as we can keep him. Because I think if he keeps developing the way he is, then all the big clubs are going to sniff around him. Barcelona wanted him, and I think he came to us because we were going to offer him more minutes, and rightly so. Yes.
He's developing at a scary rate, isn't he, Bergvall? I mean,
he is. He's a talented player.
He only just
He's
turned
very
19
talented.
a few weeks ago, right? And he's putting in this kind of a mature display. I mean, that kind of display today, someone like Rodri would be happy with that display today. I'm not even joking.
He's getting more confident. You could see what he was doing as well today, like cheering up the fans at times in the game. He's getting more confident in his ability, and I think he's like. It's like he's becoming more free in his mind to play his game and just let him play his game, because that's what he's good at. And you could see like his ability to drive the ball forward, his touches, that bit where he took those two to flick the ball past that player. Or was it twice he did it in that one move? And that was like, oh, it's just silky. It's silky. He produces these silky moments. And the stuff when he did that shot in the first half where he just caught, it was a beautiful shot from a difficult angle, and it was just over. And I think that's the sort of things that he needs to get better at, which I think he will. And again, against Bournemouth, where he hit that shot from, was it outside the box, and you could see it from where we were sitting, it's like curling just so beautifully there, just past onto the post. And I just think he's just going to get better and better, this kid. And I just pray that he doesn't have injury problems, because for someone at his age, he's strong, he's aggressive, he's technically really good. You can see he's got ability in his shooting. He's got like kind of the whole range of like your modern day midfielder, what you want to see in a player, and the fact that he can actually play that 6 role. And I think right now he's probably, on form wise, I think he's the best out of the bunch we've got right now to play in that number 6. So I would play him there at the moment.
You mentioned it before, right, about the experienced players, the senior players coming in and stepping up for us. And I made it very clear when I was speaking with Sim in the preview of this game. And he agreed, we spoke about it together. The experienced players had to step up for us today. It's been too many games where they've gone missing. When you look at the Liverpool second leg, when you look at the Villa game, when you're looking at pivotal game for us this season, the experienced players have gone missing. Today, they all stepped up. They all stepped up. So you've got to give them massive credit. From you're looking at the back, you're looking at the leadership group in itself with Vicario, the amount of times he just gobbled up balls in the air. Romero, I don't think he put a foot wrong today. Romero was out of this world.
He was really good today.
Van der Ven, I mean, he was gobbling up everything for fun. You're looking at Maddison, obviously got the goal and he was a threat throughout.
He had a good game. And he got better as the game went on.
Exactly. He got better. He got better
as the game went on.
Sonny, a constant threat on that left-hand side. Had his hand to play in 2 of the goals that we scored. First one, pressing high up the front. I think it was the second or third one as well. He had a massive part to play.
He did.
So I think, and Dom Solanke as well. I think Dom played really well in his aggressive nature up front.
He played well. It's a shame, like you want to see your strikers get a goal, and it's unfortunate for him he didn't like get on the score sheet. He had a moment or two in the game, but it wasn't really clear cut. And I do want to see more from him as a striker to actually score goals. But in terms of his performance today, it was good. And he's just come back as well. So, and we thought we'd lost him again for like the rest of the season. So it's good that he's back, because he does. I think he does fit the system more than what the other players that we have, more than Son, more than Tell. I mean, and Richarlison, I think he's way better than Richarlison.
I always say with Dom Solanke, right, when he's not getting in those goal-scoring positions, he's always still providing so much for the team.
He is, yeah.
He
Most of the time, he is.
He's an aggressive nature. He wins the ball. He's a consistent threat. He's so good in his aerial duels. And that's one thing I was really impressed with Romero today, in his aerial duels. I don't know what the stats are, but I can't remember him losing one. I think he was so dominant.
He was really
with
good today,
him and Van der Ven today, I thought Romero was so dominant in the air. Van der Ven was so dominant on the ground. And when Van der Ven went off, you saw kind of a bit of confidence sap out from the defense.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I was saying earlier. I think what I saw, anyway, from my opinion, is when Van der Ven went off, for me, when Van der Ven was on the pitch, and Romero, it looked like, because the players know that they're such good players, the players in front of them, all the players in front, they feel like they're more confident they can just go and play their game because they know those two players are gonna keep them protected most of the time, right? Or that's how it kind of looked. And then as soon as Van der Ven went off and the other players came on, it's like those players started panicking a bit more in possession and they're losing the ball a bit more, they're making mistakes more, and that's what did eventually lead to the goal, the AZ goal. And I think that's what worries me, is that we're basically relying now on these two players being fit for us to kind of be able to play more like the way Ange wants them to play. And then if they're not playing, it's like it all goes out the window basically. Because I think if we had that team from the beginning of the match, I think it'd be a different game.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we go through.
I don't think so
Romero
either.
and Van der Ven don't start this game.
I don't think so either.
Pivotal to us. So pivotal to us. And you saw as soon as Van der Ven went on, it was panic stations all round.
Oh, yeah.
Panic stations all round. And it was a really hard kind of last 25 minutes to watch. But we got the job done.
We did. And do you know what? I've just thought of this now, yeah. I was thinking, if I was Ange Postecoglou, I'd be making sure that those two players are as fit as possible during the Premier League games, as in like not to overuse them in the Premier League games, because the Premier League is done. Like, forget it, right? Those two players have to be fit if we have a chance of even sniffing at that trophy this season in the Europa League. They have to be fit, because if one of them is not fit, especially Van der Ven, there's no chance we're going to win that trophy. Yeah, in my opinion.
So Frankfurt in the next round, they've just completely dispatched of Ajax, quite simply. We played them a couple of years back in the Champions League. I think it was under Conte. What do you fancy our chances? Obviously, they've lost Omar Mamouche.
They're a different team without him, but they're still a good side.
Yeah, exactly. They still completely battered Ajax today.
It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be an extremely tough tie. I don't know. It's hard to say, because it's like, for me, it all depends on those two players being fit. Actually, to be honest, it depends on that first 11 tonight having to be fit. Because if that first 11 is not fit, I don't think we have a far less chance. And what I saw in the second half when they made those subs, if that was the team playing against Frankfurt, no chance of we getting through. Not at all. So I don't want to say we're going to get through or we're not, because I want to see what happens with the players. I'll be able to give a more clear indication close to the time, as long as those players are fit. Yeah,
it's going to be a very tough tie.
100%.
We need all our players on it. We need to show the intensity like we showed
both legs
for the majority of the game today. And you're looking at the route to the final now. So it's Tottenham, Frankfurt in the quarters. The quarterfinal that's matched up with us is Bodo Glimt against Lazio. Lazio kind of not sneaked through, but they had a tough game against Victoria Pilsen.
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt in their own right, they could do something against Lazio. I really like this Bodo Glimt side. I think they're a brilliant team, full of goals. So if we get past this Frankfurt side, I mean, we've got a very good chance of making this final, in my opinion.
It's a possibility. I mean, Man United winning today, it just feels like it's gearing up for a Tottenham United final, and yeah, that worries me. To be honest, that worries me a lot. Beating them.
Book your flights to Bilbao, then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, book the flights to Bilbao, book the hotels.
If you don't make it, Danny's refunding you all.
Yeah, definitely not. I'll give that job to Nick. Nick is going to be doing that. He's the ticket man.
All right. So, the brilliant stuff. Spurs, 3-1 here. We got the job done in a very good performance, in my opinion. Most enjoyable performance I've seen. Man of the match?
For me, it's between Sonny and I think I'd say Sonny. I'd probably go Sonny. Yeah.
I'm gonna go for Bergvall. I think Bergvall was that good today, controlling it in the middle of the park, never letting an opposition have a moment's breath, always getting in front of the opposition field. I thought Bergvall was absolutely brilliant.
The only reason I wouldn't give it to him is because he did make the mistake that cost us the goal, which then put us into that pressured mode, right? And I say Sonny because I think I haven't seen a performance like that from Sonny for a while, and he was crucial to 2 of the goals. And he was what I saw from Sonny today was that what I've wanted to see for a while was that drive, him running at players, getting in the right positions. You could arguably say even Van der Ven, because of the difference. I mean, I don't think he was a man of match performance, but he was a massive difference. And Maddison was really key. He just kept getting better as the game went on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that is your instant match reaction. Spurs through into the quarterfinals of the Europa League against Eintracht